There are several points to consider prior to obtaining a firearm for home defense. First and foremost, I like to consider the children in the home and the accessibility for the firearms of the children. The homeowner, any adult in the home that will have access to the firearms, need to seriously consider their expectation for firearms engagement. Will they protect their homes with firearms? Accessibility. Again, it reiterates the first one with children. The firearm, if it's used for protection, needs to be available and accessible to the homeowner or the adult member of the family to employ that firearm, but needs to be secured away from children. Children are naturally curious. Children see TV, they play video games, and they have no concept that that bullet can never return. That concept isn't there. Firearms need to be, I cannot stress it enough, they need to be secured away from children. Children need to be educated, but the weapons need to be away. Your honest commitment to using deadly force to protect your family. This is not to be taken lightly. Again, it's something not everybody can deal with. It's something not everybody's ready for. It is an individual commitment, but it is a commitment nonetheless. Your capability to employ it effectively and safely. Many people do not have the physical capability to use certain types of firearms. It is the ability to actually employ that firearm and to safely use it to defend your home for the purpose it was purchased for. If this picture bothers you, maybe you should consider alternate ideas for home protection. I chose to showcase shotguns here because, in my opinion, from the novice to the expert in firearms, it is probably the most effective weapon to use for home defense for several reasons. You have to consider over-penetration of a round, bullet ballistics. The shotgun typically will not go through 5-10 walls and harm somebody in another house, another room. You're looking at containment. You're also looking at a weapon that you don't have to be a precision marksman to use. It has a spread pattern when the pellets come out of the shotgun, so it covers a greater area. If you're going down a hallway or someone is truly encroaching in your hallway, you don't have to fire 3 or 4 rounds. Typically, one shell from a shotgun will do. Responsible adults need to be fully familiar and trained in the use of firearms. Many firearms ranges and gun shops today you can go to and take courses, be it a 4, 8, 24-hour course to learn how to use firearms. You can rent their firearms. You can receive, expert training in these firearms. And it's important that, again, for the person to be comfortable with the weapon they've chosen, with the weapon they wish to employ for home defense. Awareness of the state and local laws regarding deadly force for home defense. Obviously critical. If you are legally eligible to have a weapon in your home, you may not be legally allowed to defend your home with that weapon, to use deadly force. You need to contact your local, to look at the local laws and understand exactly what your legal limits are with having a firearm. Many states have a castle law that legally empowers them to be able to defend their home with using presentation and use of deadly force. You said know the laws because at the end of the day, you're the one who's responsible for protecting your home. Again, we spoke about the types of firearms maybe used for home defense. It's really up to the individual. So we talked about consulting with a professional to help guide you based on your individual needs. Factors in selecting the appropriate firearm should include several considerations, and we began to speak about this earlier, about the wall composition and ballistics. Who's in your residence? Wall floor composition, over penetration. Again, if you're looking at a weapon that's not a shotgun, you're looking at a rifle which fires a different type of projectile. It will go through several walls. It can penetrate concrete walls. It will go through several layers of wood. It will go through sheetrock. It can go through and go into a neighbor's home. That is not a good weapon to use for home defense, especially if you have small children. If you're backed into a corner, it's something that could really be tragic. Furniture placement. Again, furniture placement in your home, as far as that comes in with the ballistics of the firearm. Is the furniture going to get in the way? Is it going to stop the round? Is it going to make the round deflect and go to a different location? What are my options? What are my opportunities? Ballistics and intent. Again, it's all a culmination of what we've been talking about. The ballistics of the firearm really determine what the firearm is going to do. Different types of ammunition do different things. Some ammunition stays together. Some ammunition opens up and flowers. There are many technical names to it. Not needed to get into this course, but said for safety, it is up to the individual who decides to purchase a firearm to be fully trained in the use of that firearm and have a direct understanding of what will happen once that trigger is pulled. Absolutely imperative. Realistic handling and shooting capabilities. A very tiny person is going to have a difficult time with a 12-gauge shotgun. It's a very powerful weapon with a strong kick. Again, there are different types of shotguns that that person can look into, or other types of firearms and other types of weapons, which we'll address shortly.